Hello everyone, this is Angela from the Chaotic Life of a Planner. Welcome to my channel. So this is October budget video number 2. I'm going to be setting up the rest of my pages using my printable Caffeinated Cait budget stickers. I did not print these were ones that I had purchased from a prior order, but I'm going to go ahead and use the October sticker there. So I have already started working on my dashboard pages for the month of October. Now in September, I used this page for some goal tracking. I need to go back and count how many days I actually had as no spend, which they weren't very many. And I did not save my money from my cash envelopes, but that's primarily because I did not do a great job at using cash envelopes for the month of September. And I think I only sold 3 household items. I'm working on a couple of more, but they haven't sold yet. So not terrible, but not great either. Definitely some room for progress. And then this is the other page. I just went ahead and pulled it out so that I could use it to reference when I'm doing my October page. So I did keep track of my items that I need to submit for reimbursement. So that is all set. And then I didn't end up actually doing anything with these areas right here. So I have some goals that I'm going to write up here that do not require a tracker like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave this blank because I'm not quite ready for what I plan to do there yet. So to save time, I went ahead and filled out my bars for tracking. So let's start by laying out a piece of thin washi right here, just to cover up this neutral kaleidoscope piece right here that doesn't match. Let's see if I can line it up a little bit better. Well, it doesn't match my kit anyway. But you know, you don't really have to use stickers in a budget kit. Like, you can definitely just, I forgot that that happened last month as well. Did I trim it or did I just leave it? Oh, I trimmed it. So you can definitely just use highlighters, just, you know, you don't even have to use anything. You can just use your paper and your pen. You don't even really have to use an Erin Condren planner if you don't want to. You can totally just use a notebook. I just really like the way that this planner makes everything work together. And quite honestly, I have used notebooks for years and years and years before I started using this planner last year, and it worked for me. But I really like how this keeps everything together, and I can just stick it on a shelf at the end of the year, and I don't have to worry. You know, I have it all together. I don't have to worry about keeping track of it. Like, everything is there for me to reference as I need it, which I am definitely planning to go back through and kind of add up, like, well, some of our spending. I'm definitely planning to use it as spending tracker for some of our funds, like pet expenses. I want to know what we paid for pet expenses for the entire year. So that will definitely help. At the end of this year, I can go ahead and add that up, and that will help me to know what we should be putting like in a sinking fund or whatever at, you know, the beginning of 2020. So I want to still aim for 10 no spend days. I need to spend a little bit of time and come up with like an actual definition of a no spend day. I know that people do them differently. Like, for some people, they might say, you know, if you have money budgeted for groceries and gas and stuff like that, that it's fine to go ahead and still spend that money because you had it budgeted, but it's just no like personal spending or, you know, anything like that. But I'm not sure that that is what I want no spend to mean. Like, for me, like, if a bill comes out that day, that's fine. Bills wouldn't count. But any additional spending, even if it is like if I have money in my grocery envelope, I think I want a no spend day to be absolutely no spending except for bills. So I'm going to aim for 10. If I don't reach, oh, I forgot about that. If I don't reach 10 this month, then I may lower it to 5 until we get after the holidays. So I want to sell 5 household items. Right now I've just been using the Facebook Marketplace, and that's been working okay. There's a couple of things that I've tried to sell that have given me some trouble, but excuse me. And then I may even have to use Craigslist for a couple of items. I think they might just sell better on Craigslist. But we will see. These are just the little decorative stickers that come in the budget kit. I want to save $100 from cash envelopes. This would mean that I actually plan to use cash envelopes for the month of October, so hopefully I do. And then I'm going to leave this one blank. I don't know what I'm going to put here, but if you guys have any ideas for me, please do leave them down below. All right, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure if you could hear the baby or not, but I do have Nana duty tonight, and we are working on sleeping in his crib. So he's doing a really good job, actually. He is just about 2 months old, and last night he actually slept in his crib. Well, it took us a little bit to get him to actually go to sleep. We had to, sit with him and go in there several times, but once he finally did go to sleep, he stayed in there all night long, which is fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to use a thin strip of washi, and I'm going to cover up this birthday section right here. I do not need to keep track of October birthdays, even though, actually, I just remembered that my mother-in-law's birthday is next week. I need to make myself a note. It might actually be Monday. Whoops. Well, how about that? Okay. So, maybe I should be tracking my birthdays. But it'll be fine. So anyways, we have her birthday, my husband's birthday, my oldest daughter's birthday was on the 1st, and our anniversary, which will be 25 years, is on the 22nd this month. So that is exciting. Let me just peel this little section off that I did not cut straight. Okay. So there is that. And then I'll put this one down here. So if you guys are new to my channel, then you might need an explanation as to what a focus check request is. So focus is our homeschool program. It's basically like a school that we homeschool through. And we are able to purchase certain things and turn them in for reimbursement. So I have some things like Benjamin is taking a class at UAF, which is our local university. So I can submit that for reimbursement. I can submit for reimbursement the cost for the math class that Liberty takes at the private school. Any supplies associated with Ben's class, like his books. he has to use this like online website. I forgot what it's called, like Alex Math or something like that. And we have to pay for that. So they would reimburse us for that. They'll actually even reimburse us for some hockey equipment, which is super handy. So that is what that means. And I do like to keep track of it for a couple of different reasons. One is to make sure that I don't accidentally submit reimbursement for the same item twice. And then also just so I know what I have coming in. I usually will just keep track of a bunch of things and then just submit one reimbursement, like, you know, kind of a large reimbursement, and that'll hold the next few months worth of stuff and then submit that again. But we'll see how it goes this year. So, and we do have like a certain allotment amount, like, you know, we don't, it's not just a free-for-all. So now I am going to cover up this little October area right here, and I'm just going to use these page flags. I did that last month and it actually looked kind of cute and it worked nicely. I felt like it was making effective use of stickers in my kit that I typically wouldn't use. So I didn't feel like, you know, it was a complete and total waste. If I remember correctly, I did have to use some whiteout because I didn't have quite enough stickers to get to the end. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's see. I might have to use whiteout just right on the edge right here. I think I really need like one more page flag. I love these colors in this kit. Like, they're so pretty. And they obviously just scream fall, which if you guys follow me on my Instagram, then you will see that we got a good amount of snow today in a very short period of time. So that was fun. Okay, I'm going to use, I have this Erin Condren marker right here, and I'm just going to use this. Let's see, I'll write focus, check request. And then, let's see if I have any more. Well, I don't think I have any more dollar signs. I think I've used those all up. But I do have this little money bag thing right there, so that's cute. So I'll just use that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give myself a line right here. And then okay, so there's that. So I'm just going to write description, amount, and then paid. So right here is where I'm going to put a quote when I can find one. If you guys have any fun, like, financial quotes that would be inspiring, then go ahead and leave them down in the comments section down below. Now I am going to draw my lines right here. because I really do not like to write without lines if I don't have to. So let's start here. This just takes just a minute or so to add the lines. I wish that it had a lined section, but, or at least was dot grid. That would be nice, huh? Oh well, we can't have everything, right? So I'm not gonna fill this out right this very second either, just for sake of time. But the goals that I plan to put over here are to not spend before we have actually budgeted. I am terrible about that. Like payday will hit and I'll go, you know, to the grocery store or to Joann's or Michael's or whatever. And then my husband and I will have a budget meeting, or we're even really terrible about this when he's home, which is foolish. We won't actually have our budget meeting until like 2 days after payday. Well, by then we've already spent some money. So that is one of my goals. Another one is to use cash envelopes. My third goal would be to do weekly check-ins. And my fourth goal is to, my husband's been asking me to open my own account for my own personal spending, because I like to leave that in my checking account so that I can buy things online and whatnot. So it just doesn't work well to have all my spending money in cash. So there are my dashboard pages. Those are finished. The next thing we're going to do is get right to these pages. So this will be for paycheck 4 that I have not actually done yet. We did this weekly check-in page and spending tracker in my budget 1 videos. So this page that we're going to do now is going to be my savings tracker, and this is super simple. I'm not even going to pull this page out of my binder. I'm just going to leave it in there, put my thick washi down, my savings tracker label, I'm going to go ahead and use my little pig because I can't not use the little pig. He's just so cute. Then we will add this, which I wasn't really that good about filling out my savings tracker last month. We did actually have some money in savings at the end of the month, but you know, I didn't actually fill it out. So hopefully this month I will. And there is my total, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to connect the dots, which would actually mean connect the lines. Now, obviously, if you think you're going to have more deposits to savings than this, you can make this a full page, or you don't even need to have a whole page for your savings tracker for the most part. And especially if you're paying off debt, like most of your, you know, excess money should be going towards debt payoff, which ours isn't at this very moment because we're getting ready to move in the spring. So it kind of changes our situation a little bit. So here's my savings tracker. Now I am going to do my sinking funds, which is super similar to what I just did for the savings tracker. Just put my thick washi up there. I have sticky notes everywhere, and they're just sticking to everything. Sinking funds. And then I'll put the label down. And then let me just check and see real quick if I completely did my full sinking funds page. I did not. So I'll just put my total right here because I know I'm not going to need the full page for this. We haven't actually been adding to our sinking funds because we're trying to pay off something else right now. But I still will add like, oh, if we, like, I know we're going to have pet expenses. Like I had to buy dog food. And pet expenses will be one of our sinking funds when we're doing a better job at funding them. So I still will go ahead and add what we spent on pet expenses on payday. I'll still add that over here to a sinking fund. So at the end of the year, I can go back and look through all of my pet expenses, and then I'll be able to divide that by 12, and that will give me an amount that I need to be putting in the pet expense sinking fund on a monthly basis. So my sinking funds aren't really getting funded on a regular basis right now, but I'm still treating it as if we were doing that so that I can be ready come January for our 2020 budget. This page right here will be our transaction log, and this log will actually go with the sinking fund. So whenever I spend something that would come out of the sinking fund, like clothing items, since we have a sinking fund for clothing, or pet expenses, vehicle maintenance, I mean, everybody has different sinking funds. Like you might have one for birthdays, you should have one for Christmas. Let's see what else. Car registration, some people have them for even like car insurance, because they pay their car insurance like every 6 months rather than monthly. So if that were the case, then you would want to be saving every month so that you don't get a giant bill that you have to cash flow, which is not always easy. Sometimes you have to cash flow something if you, sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't in frame. If you didn't have enough time, like by the time you found out about it, it wasn't enough time for you to really save the full amount, you would have to cash flow. Which that's kind of something that happened to us when we decided that Benjamin was going to play junior hockey. We did not realize that it was going to, number one, we didn't realize it was going to cost as much as it does. And number two, by the time we had all of the details worked out and we knew that he was going to be playing junior hockey, we didn't really have enough time to save up the full amount, which means that we're cash flowing it right now. It's not super easy to cash flow that much, which is pretty much why we are not contributing to all of our sinking funds right now. But that's not like a permanent thing, so it will eventually be done. The next thing I'm going to do is the debt tracker. This is just where I have all the balances for our debts, which we did actually pay off a debt this month. So we are taking, it was a $50 payment. So we're taking that $50 payment and adding it to my husband's credit card, which we were already paying a little bit extra on that anyways. So now we'll, rather than $100 a month, now we'll be paying $150. And then we have another debt that we've been paying on for like, I don't know, 15 or 16 months, and we pay like $200 a month to that one, and that one is almost paid off. I think we have 2 more payments left on it, so then we will be adding that to our debt snowball as well. So that's nice that we're finally starting to see some progress. And then also, we're almost done paying off the orthodontist. We have 3 more payments. I just checked our balance, and I'm so happy about that because we paid the orthodontist. Well, we did get 2 kids in braces at the same time, and our insurance didn't end up paying anything because, well, they paid for like a month, maybe 2 months, because that was at the time when Mike retired from the Army. got a civilian job, and then they didn't pay anything on it because the kids had their braces. What was it? Okay, so he had a civilian job like before he officially retired from the Army. So they paid for a couple of months, and then he switched from one mine to another. So which is the mine that he's at now. So when he went to that mine, that dental insurance did not pay a penny of the kids' orthodontics because they had their orthodontics or their braces before he started working there. So they didn't pay any of it, which was a bummer. So we've pretty much paid, well, it was a $16,000 bill, and we have paid it all ourselves. It was actually over $16,000, and we've pretty much paid all of it. So I'm trying to see if I have any more washi. So I think I'm just going to put this little, I don't have any more thin washi either. I really made good use of this kit this month, which is fantastic. I guess I could use one of these thin washies right here. It says like total on it, and it does have the lines, but I don't really think that you can see them that well. And then I will put the Debt Snowball sticker right here, so you don't even notice that it says total. So I'll put that right there. And then I still have one page left right here. So what I did in September with my last page, I used it to track expenses from when we went to Chicago, just so we could look at it and have a picture of where the $2,000 went or whatever it was. And we are going to Chicago again in like a little less than 2 weeks. So I will probably go ahead and use this page for the same thing. And then this page will be for November's monthly budget. So let me give you a full overview. So here is my monthly budget page. Here's my dashboard pages that we did today. Then I have my bills due, and I also keep track of my debit card spending there. We have paycheck 1, paycheck 2, paycheck 3, paycheck 4, weekly check-in, spending tracker, savings tracker, sinking funds, transaction log, debt tracker, debt snowball, and then extra page. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do have a link down below. They are affiliate links for the Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner that I've used right here. There is also a link to Caffeinated Cait's printable Etsy shop, along with a coupon code that you can use to save, I think, 15%. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.